Hey everybody, this is Bo back in the lounge. Want to say thanks to the 1.5 million listeners all over this great world of ours, and especially those in the military bases who constantly send us email messages about the guests we should have on the show. And right now we're going to go out to Adams College, get a chance to talk to football coach Marty Heaton. How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Coach, you've got a nice program out there. It's your old school. It's got to feel kind of good that you grew up there in college. You get a chance to come back and do something you love.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for me to come back to the school I went to, and I think everybody kind of dreams of one probably being a head football coach, and the other to be the head football coach at your school that you went to, being an alumni.
Absolutely, Coach. Now, Coach, I was looking at the schedule you had this last year and this year. You've got a very beefed up schedule, Coach. Last year you started off with Rob Ash's folks, and this year it's Dixie College. You've got a lot going on there, Coach, to get ready in a short period of time.
Yeah, we haven't, getting in here and getting this thing going. We haven't had it easy, and there's no easy schedule, and there never is any easy games, and I think it's getting tougher and tougher in Division II. But we started last year with two 1AA opponents, and Dixie this year is going to be a very, very good football team out there, in St. George.
When I was looking at the schedule and I was comparing it to what we have here in the state of Michigan with our D2 programs, I don't think our D2 programs played half a lineup that you guys did out there last season, man. You can look at it two different ways. One, you really get a chance to test yourself. Your kids are definitely going to be on TV, which, as you know, the kids are always asking about that in the football program to find out how much TV time they're going to have so mom and dad back home can see it, or maybe the neighbors across the way can see it. But, that's got to be kind of big for your program to have that visibility so soon.
Yeah, I think, again, there's some good and bad, and you don't want to play those teams sometimes, in the physical standpoint, but from a recruiting standpoint, man, our kids love it, the exposure we get, and those type of things. And again, I think, the football level, if we were a little bit more mature, I played against those Division I opponents before, and, if you got a good football team, there's not that big a difference between a Division II and a 1AA. So, it's a neat experience. There's good and bad in both of them. And like I said, hopefully we come back into league play and we're able to face, the opponents we got in our league and to be able to handle them a little better.
Well, you finished off last season pretty strong. This season, like you said, you got Dixie State, you got Chandra State, Nebraska Kearney, and Humboldt there. You've got up front in the beginning of your season, similar to last year, even though it's not a Montana or Montana State, you still have a very beefed up first part of your season. And with that said, you've got a very young squad from what it looks like on the roster as of last year, not including this year. One year a little bit older, but those are still young faces. Some of them probably don't even shave yet.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, like I said, our first four games are always, really tough. I mean, we see two of the top teams in our conference, and actually two ranked teams, in Shattern and Nebraska Kearney are both quality football teams for us to kick our league off, and we are young, and the only good news, like I said, we're not as bad because we've been in a lot of the kids have been in the system for 1 year, but we still do have freshmen coming in who are probably going to help this football program this year. So anytime you're young, it makes for a tough start of the season when you're going up against quality opponents.
I think in football, a lot of people who follow the game can't figure out sometimes why coaches don't play more freshmen. I equate it, it's not a basketball team. A football team is a team first. In basketball, you seriously could have one guy dominate and take you very far. In a football game, you could have the best running back in the state or the country, but you're not going to make it out of your conference because you've got to have a team surrounding them. And I think that's the biggest difference is that when you're forced to play freshmen, you're going to take it on the teeth. You're going to take it from the alumni. You're going to take it from the fans. The only ones that you're not going to take it from is your athletes because they get to play and the family's on your side. But it's scratching your head. It looks bad, but it's very good for you to have those kids grown up in your system because this is your system. You recruited these kids, and when you look down that line, it's got to look good to have one more year because some of those guys are probably starting to slowly start peaking towards that sophomore, junior year.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I don't know where I heard it said one time, but I think some coach said somewhere that for every freshman you play, basically that turns into a loss through the season. So I mean, when you're playing 5 freshmen, that's going to be 5 losses, and I think there's some merit to that because there's no way to kind of put that experience. And it's different than probably any other sport. And the physical part is one thing, but the mental and all the different things they go through, it really makes it tough. So for us to come in and play a lot of young kids last year, they have to grow up fast. They're no longer freshmen, and they're going to have to come out there and play with some experience and understand what college football is all about. I mean, the move from high school to college is unbelievable. The speed of the game, it just doubles. It's amazing how quick it changes.
Yeah, especially when you start playing other teams or other schools that probably do not have a young roster. But in the same token, I think the biggest plus is the fact that you get to have such a young team under your care for the next 2 to 5 years when they start maturing up in your program. Now, with that said, there has to be some seniors and junior leadership that is really helping right now to help solidify. You all did pretty good last year. You weren't horrible last year, and I think that for every freshman rule, it always comes down to a coach to execute the X's and O's, but it's got to have some leadership on this squad that has come forward to really help out these freshmen. Now, who are those guys so far that are showing up and really helping out with the X's and O's on the field?
Well, like I said, we did end on a good note. We did win 5 of our last 6 ball games, and it was some of those last year's seniors who have graduated. We didn't have many, but those kids stepped it up. We had a small junior class, which now makes it going to be our senior class. But, at the quarterback position, when I got here, we didn't have a quarterback. We ended up getting a junior college kid. Stephen Baca was a kid who came in and had kind of a rough go, as I will say, as his first year in the program. Man, he had a much better spring ball, and he's feeling better. I feel real good about him. On our defensive side, we did some really good things. Our defense started, when I got here, it was last in the league in total defense. We ended up finishing up first in the league in total defense last year. And so we got a couple kids at linebacker coming back to help us there, and Oscar Villa and Levi Gallus, both going to be seniors who really done a great job stepping up and helping us there. And our secondary got a defensive back, John Williams, another senior that's done a great job. And we got a couple old linemen, which is where we really feel like we've improved a little. They're going to get some help there. Randy Greenbaum is a senior who's done a tremendous job for him. Jeff Shawshaw is another senior who we got high expectations for this year. So the fact that I can sit there and kind of name you a handful of seniors, that's a lot better than what I was able to do last year.
Absolutely, Coach. We want to say thank you so much. We're going to ask if we can give you a call in another month. That way, you've got another week, 2 weeks under your belt with official contact with the upcoming freshmen, and then you get more face-to-face time with the whole group as they start migrating, getting ready for school. Would that be okay?
That'd be great.
Hey, guys, Marty Heaton from Adams State College. He's got a fresh bunch of kids coming into his program, and they did very well last season. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
We are off the air.